Are you ready to finally make that dream a reality? Maybe it's updating your kitchen, paying down high-interest credit cards, or covering tuition. Your home is more than where you live. It's also your most powerful asset. At Unlock, we make it simple to turn equity into options. With a home equity agreement, you can access cash today without taking on monthly payments. Imagine the freedom to invest in your home, reduce financial stress, or finally start that big project you've been putting off. It's your home. It's your future. Unlock it today. Visit unlock.com to learn more about a home equity agreement. That's unlock.com to learn more.
Terms and conditions apply. Not all homeowners will qualify. Not available in all states. Actor Portrayal. Home equity agreements are offered by Unlock Home Equity Solutions, Inc. In certain states, NMLS number 2657081. Visit www.consumeraccess.org for more info.
He would fly her from the U.S. to Australia. She'd spend some time. She met the family. He would come up here, and pretty soon he told his family down there that he was going to move to the U.S. and marry her, and he did.
Very cool story.
Yeah,
so Taylor, there's,
they are married.
Possibility there.
Oh my gosh, don't get me. I'm not doing that.
But it took, it wasn't easy. It took a lot of work on both their ends because it was a long distance thing. So I'm not saying long distance can't work. It's just they're difficult.
Welcome to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. Here's your host, Marcus.
Welcome to another episode of Secrets of a Sugar Daddy, the #1 sugar dating podcast in the world, where we pull back the curtains on the good and the bad and the shocking stories of sugar dating. I've got Nikki and Taylor in the house today, and we're going to get into some shocking things. How are you girls?
Doing good.
Happy to be here.
Yes, lovely to see you guys. So Sugarpalooza has wrapped up. We will get into that. So look forward to all kinds of juicy things coming from that weekend. We'll have a lot of things on Patreon, so make sure to check that out. You can join us at www.patreon.com/Secrets of a Sugar Day podcast, and I'll have a link to it. I have been talking about this. The tiers start as little as $10 a month and go up from there. We have some coaching and profile reviews. Those are changing January 1st, 2026. We're going to restructure those. They're going to be a little bit more expensive because, we're a little more busy now, and just the price of business goes up, right? So get in now. You'll be able to lock that in. If you want to just become a free member, we'll love to have you as a free member because I do throw some free things out there to you girls and guys, women and men. Look for our next Sugarpalooza. It'll be on our website, secretsofasugardaddy.com, under the party tab. The party tab is probably going to be gone by the time this episode comes out until we figure out what the next one is. Look for all kinds of fun updates and behind-the-scenes videos and pictures from that party. All right, Nikki and Taylor. Let's start with Nikki. So I walk in and I'm like, hey, Nikki, how are you? You look lovely. The boots are amazing.
Thank you.
Love that. So you had a birthday recently.
Yes, last Thursday.
You were dressed up as a witch with blonde hair, and I'm like, I love this look.
I do get that a lot when I put that wig on, but it only goes on once a year.
Do you have other wigs or just that one?
Just that one.
Yeah. I had a sugar baby who shaved her head once, like the Britney Spears shave. I was like, what the hell is going on? So I promptly took her down to the wig shop, and we bought a couple fun ones, and she wore them, and they looked really cool. But each one gave her such a different look.
Yeah, that's what I feel like when I'm in the blonde one.
Mm-hmm.
It's that I just feel very different. And there were people on the street taking my picture last week.
Really?
In my costume and in my wig.
Yeah.
So I might end up on social media somewhere.
Yeah. So how'd the birthday go? Last week, we interviewed Podcast Fanboy. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and at the restaurant. That was a great location.
So we had some technical difficulties at the studio, so we just got in a little garden area at Schmooze, which is a really cool spot to hang out with, especially during the winter. Oh, it's just got such a beautiful patio. And we did it right off my phone. I wasn't prepared for it, but it came out great. But it was your birthday.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it really was. It was fun to be here.
Did you go party? What'd you do?
Yeah, there was a lot going on. I celebrate for the whole month.
Oh, so you're one of these with the birthday at the end of the month. It's kind of like Lily. Hers is the end of March, like the last day. So the entire month she's celebrating.
Yeah, the whole month. So last week was just a continuation of the previous 3 weeks.
Well, very good. Now, something else you said when I walked in was, I'm really annoyed with these men on Seeking. I'm going to try not to bash men, but let it go. What's going on?
All right. So in my profile, I'm very clear that I have a very busy life. I work, I date more than one person, I have great social life with friends, I travel, I have family that lives out of state. So I am busy. And for me, I need a certain level of consistency and planning when it comes to dating.
Like, hey, baby, can you meet me in an hour at the Roadway Inn?
That is what's happening. So I need really about at least 3 days notice so that I can either rework my schedule, plan my outfit, wash my hair, whatever. And I am getting men, usually, there's only so much vetting you can do with a phone call or a video call. You don't really know their full personality until you get to the meet and greet and maybe then a PPM after that or something like a second date. So I am really getting men who, after the meet and greet, we agree on a second date, but I get a message from them like on a Saturday afternoon. Hey, what are you doing over the next day or two? Let's get together.
I'm guilty of sending that message.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Let me just show you a picture of my calendar that's all blocked out because I don't have open time for you. I don't sit around waiting for somebody to, if somebody waits till a day or two before, I'm probably already booked with another date because some smart person reserved me a week before or 10 days before or 5 days before.
That's a common issue. I like I said, I'm guilty as anybody because my week goes by so fast, and I look up and it's Friday or Saturday and I don't have anything going on. And here's the problem. I've had girls who I've messaged like, hey, what are you up to tonight? Nothing. You want to get together? Yeah, great. Let's do it. So we've had some success with that. It's it's not even close to a lot of success. It's probably like maybe 15, 20% of the time. So then we think, oh, maybe I can get somebody at the last minute who's very spontaneous. But I've encountered people like you, Nikki, who are planners. And I did that too with this girl. And she really wanted to see me, but she goes, listen, I am a planner. I can't just jump at the last minute. I would love to see you, but you got to plan this a little bit ahead of time. And so I did with her.
Yeah.
So she set the expectation. She kind of scolded me a little bit.
And I think that, first of all, it's in my profile. So this tells me guys are not reading the fine print because they're...
What? They're not reading profiles?
And
That's
I think...
unbelievable.
And I am sure there are some people who can jump like that at the last minute. When I can't, then the problem is that I get comments like, oh, you're not spontaneous, or you're not, you need too much structure, you need too much planning. But I've already explained to them, I work full time, I've got schedules to, mess with and things like that. And I'm willing to, and I have switched my schedule around at the last minute for people, planned a date, and then they canceled.
Oh, nothing more annoying.
Or I've bought an outfit for the date that I have scheduled at the last minute, and then they cancel. So I'm getting a lot of that lately, and I'm going to have to start doing what the girl did with you, like maybe at the meet and greet, even though it's in my profile, at the meet and greet, I'm probably going to have to say, look, if this is going any further, I need at least, I'm going to start using the Wednesday rule. Have you guys heard of that?
I can see where it's going, though.
I never used to abide by it, but I'm going to start. It's where if you want to see me on the weekend, you have to tell me at least by Wednesday. That gives me 3 days.
That's fair enough.
That's what I thought too. And I never used to worry about it, but I'm getting so many guys right now that are doing this at the last minute and then giving me a hard time because I can't make the date. So I'm going to have to just start being more clear, maybe at the meet and greet.
Taylor, do you encounter that problem?
I do sometimes.
Well, you've got obligations.
And that's the thing. There's women that have children. Some women are working 2 jobs.
Oh, yeah.
And some of these men, I think it's just really rude. I think it's rude for men just to assume that we can just drop what we're doing within a day's notice or something and then show up looking really great because the expectation is that we show up looking really good. So I'm annoyed.
Well, I've had some interesting experiences on the other end of that where I was like literally laying in bed. This was real early on in my seeking days back in like 2016, 17. And it's like 10:30 at night and I get a message from somebody. I'm like, hey, what are you doing tonight? Well, I'm kind of getting ready for bed. She goes, oh, I'm a flight attendant. I've got a layover here at the Hilton. Why don't you come visit me?
Did you?
So Marcus got his ass out of bed and went to the Hilton. Stayed there till like 3 a.m. That was fun.
So you're more of a spontaneous person.
Oh yeah. I'm pretty spontaneous, but there's been plenty, like I'm busy too, but if there's somebody that really interests me, all of a sudden Marcus is available.
Well, see, and I don't mind, same. If somebody's really interesting to me, I'll do what I can to rearrange things. But then I guess that might set precedent. And then they think I'll do it all the time or, they cancel then after I've rearranged my whole work schedule. So I'm going to have to just start setting a boundary, I guess.
Yeah. Taylor, you have something to say here?
I'm a little nervous now. So after speaking with Podcast Fanboy, I was like, you know what? Maybe I might want to start looking, just kind of see what's out there. And I was like, no, I'm not ready. I don't want to. A couple more days go by, and I'm like, okay, we'll just look. And now it's like, fuck, Taylor, what did you get yourself?
Would you open up a big can of worms? What's going on?
I did.
Now, you met somebody this last weekend.
Yes. So I messaged him on a Tuesday. And we can get into this. So
you reached out first.
I reached out first.
Good job.
I don't normally do that.
Right.
And this is where I'm like, fuck. So I reach out to him. Just told him, hey, I'm interested. And he was like, yeah, it really just depends on the connection. I was like, yeah, totally. And he said, send me your number. So I sent him my number and he read it, but he did not respond. I got on the next couple days, like 3 days went by, and then I sent him another message. So let me say, he's out in Utah. His secondary location is Arizona. I've gotten plenty of messages before, like I said, where I'll just get on, check some messages. Before I respond back to anybody, I'll look to see what anyone else has said. And then I don't respond, and I'll get messages days later, and it's like, okay, bye. Like, right. What? And so my next message, I was like, we're not going to do that. I just wanted to tell him that I was still interested. So
you saw that he had read your message, didn't respond, and unlike some other girls who just block you or say, oh, rude, bye, you say, hey, what'd you say?
I just told him I was still interested.
Hey, I'm still interested.
And he texted me immediately.
Oh, bam, bam, bam. There you go.
So he was still out in Utah at the time. We ended up texting Friday, which was Halloween. It's going great. We're texting all Friday night, Saturday. And Saturday, he's saying that he'll be in about Monday. So I was like, okay, yeah, sure. I would love to see you whenever you get in. And he's like, well, I'll actually be getting in Sunday night. 11 o'clock midnight. And I was like, okay. He's like, if that's not too late.
And you live like 30 or 40 minutes from the airport.
About 30 minutes from the airport.
Yeah.
So just texting him, and I was just getting really excited. The conversations always really went well, and the attraction, I mean, just looking at his photos, and when I found him, I was like, God, the things I would do to this man.
Right. He was sexy he had sexy photos. What's that?
He was attractive. Yeah.
Okay.
So
About how old was this gentleman?
he's 43.
43, and you are 27.
27.
Okay. Not too bad. 16 years.
So I told him, yeah, that's fine. Let's meet. And his plane is now getting a little delayed. And originally he was actually going to come pick me up from my place. And we were going to go out or do whatever.
At 11 o'clock on a Sunday night? Are you crazy? You work for me at 8 o'clock in the morning.
He was hot.
Now that's spontaneity.
Yes. But again, his plane was getting delayed. And I was really interested. So I end up making some arrangements to where he would be able to be comfortable at my place. And when he got off the plane, he texted me and I said, hey, kind of did some things if you want to kind of stay here for a bit, or we can go out as planned. He was just, yeah, that's fine. So he came over to my place.
And was he as good in person as he was on the photos?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You got a big smile on your face.
I do, but I'm nervous, guys. This is it's very soon. Don't want to get too excited. He's recently divorced, guys. Like a year.
That's not bad though, a year. Like is that too soon for you?
I wouldn't say that, but I mean, even when, he asked me like, when was my last relationship? Or like, when did that end? And that's going on like 4 months now, like beginning of July. And I was laughing with somebody else like, fuck, it felt like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
But we had an amazing time.
You're listening to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy.
Are you ready to finally make that dream a reality? Maybe it's updating your kitchen, paying down high-interest credit cards, or covering tuition. Your home is more than where you live. It's also your most powerful asset. At Unlock, we make it simple to turn equity into options. With a home equity agreement, you can access cash today without taking on monthly payments. Imagine the freedom to invest in your home, reduce financial stress, or finally start that big project you've been putting off. It's your home. It's your future. Unlock it today. Visit unlock.com to learn more about a home equity agreement. That's unlock.com to learn more.
Terms and conditions apply. Not all homeowners will qualify. Not available in all states. Actor Portrayal. Home equity agreements are offered by Unlock Home Equity Solutions, Inc. In certain states, NMLS number 2657081. Visit www.consumeraccess.org for more info.
Now back to the show with your host, Marcus.
Okay, wait a minute. So he came over to your house Sunday night. What time did he get there?
Not till like 1:30.
1:30 in the morning?
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you just say, you know what? Here's my bedroom. Just come join me.
Yeah.
Is that how it worked?
I mean, pretty much. I mean, It wasn't like, I didn't feel like it was awkward at all.
Because you had already talked.
We had talked, and I mean, the second that we saw each other, it was
So there was a lot of chemistry.
a lot of attraction, physical attraction. He comes inside and, I go get snuggled up in bed, and he comes to join me, and we kind of started fooling around. He actually used to be Mormon, guys. This Mormon boy knows what he's doing.
And you said he had actually served a mission like in a Spanish-speaking country, I think?
Yeah.
Spanish, yeah.
So, and he does kind of look a little exotic. He said before he had gotten that he looks like a fighter, and I can see that. But he's very, very sweet. But it was It was nice.
Well, I know you came to work the next day with a couple hours sleep, but you sure were in a good mood.
Yeah, I saw him obviously Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday. So that was great.
And he is a sugar daddy? Is
He's
that why he
new-
was on the site?
Yes, he's on there. Obviously, he's new to it.
Okay.
I haven't really asked him too much about his experience. It was more or less just trying to get to know him, see how we vibe. And because if I'm going to be looking, it's going to be more for physical attraction and what can kind of come up of that, because you guys know I've had some success in just finding that. So
Now, he was down here for work.
yes.
So this is going to have to be a long distance thing, which they're kind of tough. Did you tell him about your OnlyFans?
I did tell him about the OnlyFans.
Okay.
When I went to go see him where he was staying, he ended up pulling out a camera and he said, I could help with OnlyFans.
Oh, so that didn't bother him at all.
No, it didn't bother him.
Yeah. But most guys it doesn't. I don't think it should.
I'm sure.
My personal opinion. I don't care if they have an OnlyFans. Actually, I'm a little jealous that girls basically have that avenue to really explode their income if they want to take it. There's just the power of the internet. We've talked about that. And it's, it wasn't available when I grew up, or, the internet. I'm really old now, but actually the internet's
I'm older than you.
actually the internet's not that old. People don't realize the internet really started gaining some steam in the late 90s. So that wasn't that long ago. And now it's crazy. But anyway, where do you guys stand? I know that you came to work the next day a little confused about the relationship.
Obviously,
I'm already calling it a relationship.
So Sunday, obviously, we had a great time. Then the next day, that's when we went to dinner and we really started discussing some things. And that's when we started talking about my previous relationship and his divorce, and just kind of realizing what this would all take and just how soon it is. We don't want to put, I guess, too much pressure on things. So just kind of enjoying what it is and see what comes of it.
So I had a couple of incidences similar to you. Nikki's going to hate this, but I literally messaged a girl like at 5:00 on a Tuesday, and we're having drinks by 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday. And it was Madison, the 2.5-year relationship I had. She actually let me pick her up from her house, which is a no-no, but she trusted me and it was fine. So we went to a local bar, and I wasn't going to let her outdrink me. So we both had 4 double Tito's and Sprite, I think it was, or Crown and Sprite, 4 of them, doubles. So that's like 8 drinks. And then like about midnight or 1 in the morning, we went back to my house, had a lot of fun sexually there. Great. It was fantastic. And then I took her home, I think I called her Uber, and that was it, right? And I was giddy. I was pretty giddy after that night. And I think she fell a little bit, like started falling for me a little bit quick. And she really wanted a relationship anyway. She was looking for that. And she had some kids, and I don't know too much about her previous status, but she was ready to jump into a relationship. And I'm like, whoa. So we went out again, had a lot of fun, but I could start feeling the pressure of one person wanting a little more than the other. And I wasn't as committed that time because I was dating around and just having a lot of fun. So we ended up breaking up after 2 or 3 months because we just weren't aligned on the relationship. But she fell pretty quick, and I could feel it. Taylor, did you feel yourself kind of like, oh, okay, I got to hold back a little bit? Or are you really wanting to fall for this guy very quickly? Because the sex was great, is what you said.
The sex was great. And honestly, there was a lot of things that I liked about him, just because there was the intimacy that was fantastic, and he looked great. I felt like the way that we looked at each other, I mean, I haven't had that in a while. I mean, sometimes like you look at people and you smile, but then like how deep you kind of look at them or at each other, it's
sometimes
kind of,
there's just an instant connection. I
Right.
felt it, Nikki. I'm sure you have, where you've dated a bunch of people, but then there's this one person you just connect with almost immediately, and it's a lot of fun, but it can be scary too.
and that's where I'm like, fuck.
Does he have kids?
He does have kids, yes.
Okay. In Utah.
In Utah.
Okay.
But again, he's recently divorced, and I kind of know just from talking with multiple people where they're usually kind of at that stage, and it's a little nerve-wracking, but
Yeah.
again, just seeing where that kind of goes, and even if we just have fun.
And the both of you are still on the site.
Yes, we're both still on the site. And I did ask him before he left, I said, hey, just to be respectful, how would you feel if I'm seeing other people? He said that at this point he's okay with it, but if at any point he would like to discuss other things, then we can kind of alter that later.
Now, did you also tell him that you'd done a few adult movies?
I had not told him that. No, but maybe he might find out. I mean, I'm sure, because I told him about the podcast and everything else. So
It's so hard to know how much to talk about within that first 1 or 2 dates.
right.
Because, especially as adults, we all have so much that has happened in our lives and with our relationships and stuff like that. And then when you meet someone and you're trying to get to know them, it's like, how much do you say? You don't want to overwhelm the person on
Right.
the first or second date with all this stuff.
You don't want to scare them off. And I've done that where I've relayed some information that I usually hold back, but I went, fuck it, I'm just going to let them know. And I'll tell you the information in a second. And I get such mixed reactions. Some people go, oh my God, that's incredible, that's great. And other people go, whoa. I want to be a little bit more discreet than that. And the information is, I don't usually tell people right up front, but somewhere during the meet and greet or somewhere in the first 1 or 2 meetings, I'll let them know about the podcast.
Okay.
And man, do I get different reactions, and I never know which way it's going to go.
You get negative reactions?
Oh God, yes.
Do you?
Absolutely. Alejandra loved it, ate it up, because she's a researcher. Like, she's one that when she does stuff, researches it in depth, will go to every TikTok video she can find, every YouTube video she can find about that subject. And so when she started sugar dating, she did the same thing. And when she found out I had a podcast, she ate it up and listened to every episode and tried to become very knowledgeable about it. Other people are like, whoa. Like, I don't want you talking about me. I don't want this being discussed. People don't know about me here. This is something I do on the side or whatever, right? And I've had people like literally won't even talk to me after that. Once they find out.
So they're worried about their privacy.
Yeah, they're worried about their privacy, and they think that I'm outing people. And I said, no, I'll only out you if you fuck me over. so don't fuck me over. That hasn't worked very well either, explaining that. But yeah, so I get various reactions, and it's the same type thing. It's like when you have a little bit of a past or something that you're involved with that may be a little controversial to some people, it's tough sometimes.
Yeah.
And like Taylor, you could tell somebody, yeah, I did a couple adult movies and I have OnlyFans, and they're going to go, oh my God, that's fantastic. And other people are like, whoa.
Right.
Right. I don't want somebody that's done that. I want like Little Miss Innocent Next Door girl.
And maybe that's a good
Just never
reason
know.
why you guys are just taking it slow and taking it as it comes. You have time now to get to know each other slowly, and things will come out over time.
Right.
So he's back in Utah now?
He's back in Utah.
And when's he coming back here?
I have not asked him.
What about you going up there?
We have discussed that. We haven't discussed, obviously, when, but we have discussed it.
You're listening to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy.
Are you ready to finally make that dream a reality? Maybe it's updating your kitchen, paying down high-interest credit cards, or covering tuition. Your home is more than where you live. It's also your most powerful asset. At Unlock, we make it simple to turn equity into options. With a home equity agreement, you can access cash today without taking on monthly payments. Imagine the freedom to invest in your home, reduce financial stress, or finally start that big project you've been putting off. It's your home. It's your future. Unlock it today. Visit unlock.com to learn more about a home equity agreement. That's unlock.com to learn more.
Terms and conditions apply. Not all homeowners will qualify. Not available in all states. Actor Portrayal. Home equity agreements are offered by Unlock Home Equity Solutions, Inc. In certain states, NMLS number 2657081. Visit www.consumeraccess.org for more info.
Now back to the show with your host, Marcus.
So Taylor walked in today. You know, it's funny because Alejandra and I, she gives me a nice BJ, and that's no big secret. But she's like, "Don't do it in my mouth. Don't do it in my mouth." And then Taylor's like, wears a hat today. It says "Spitters are quitters." And I was telling Alejandra about it this morning. I go, "Did you see her hat?" She's like, she goes, "Well, I'm a quitter then."
I know, we were at Jay's new place and eating pizza with Lily, and she just looks at me and goes, "Does your hat really say spitters or quitters?" Gross.
Yeah, but you got a lot of fun hats for your OnlyFans.
I do,
And that was one of them. You had some others too, didn't you?
Yes.
What were they?
But I think it's something about, they're all crazy.
Yeah, they're all fun.
Sexual things.
Yeah.
Anyways, I wore this hat today because I knew that once as we sit down on the podcast, because sometimes we don't always discuss what we're going to be talking about, and we just kind of wing it.
I don't think we ever discuss it ahead of time.
Unless we
I'm a planner, you guys.
Right, unless we have.
I'll tell you like 15 minutes before, oh yeah, we're interviewing podcast fanboy.
Right. So I knew today we were going to sit down, and I was like, I knew Mark is going to be looking at me, and I'm going to be looking at him, and because he's been hearing about it all week, or since Monday, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to wear the hat, and we're going to get this done. So anyways, I wore this because I was a little bit nervous, but he did get the wonderful happy ending.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Very good. Taylor knows how to please a man. That's a big part of keeping them.
Right.
Yeah. Men are somewhat simplistic creatures. We talk about that all the time. Feed them, have sex with them, do their laundry, and they're happy, right? I mean, there's just not much to it. Don't you think, Nikki, hearing all your wisdom and your years of experience?
Yep, I agree. Yeah.
Nikki, have you ever been married?
Twice.
Oh.
Yep. My first marriage, so I was a child bride. I was 16.
Wow.
Have we talked about this?
I don't think so.
I do not recall
I've been
hearing
when
this
it'll come
information. It's coming up now.
Yep. And I was not pregnant, but I was 16. My parents signed away their rights, which now is illegal in the state of Michigan.
Okay. This was in Michigan?
Yeah.
How old was he?
18.
So you guys were fairly close. Why did you get married so early?
Well, in retrospect,
babies.
Yeah, now I can think back and I know it's because I was trying to get out of my dad's house. Mm-hmm. It was an abusive situation. So I went from one abusive situation to another. So that first marriage was abusive, and that's where I had my daughters in that marriage. And we were married 8 years, and then I divorced him, and I was a single parent for 6 years, and then I got remarried. So my second marriage lasted almost 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know where he's at now, or you keep in contact?
Neither of them.
Neither.
Yep.
Okay.
My second husband adopted my two daughters, and pretty much helped me raise them. But once we got divorced, he just kind of dropped off the face of the earth. I think he got remarried. That would have been his 4th marriage. And he left Arizona, and he does not keep in touch with my daughters. He doesn't know he has grandkids.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, question about your first marriage. I know when I was in high school, I actually had a girlfriend who wanted to get married so badly. If it wasn't to me, it was to somebody, because she was ready to get married at 18 years old. She had her kids named.
Wow.
Like before they were even conception had happened, she knew what all of her kids' names were going to be. And sure enough, she got married at 18 years old. Not to me, obviously, but we broke up, I think, when I was a senior in high school, and then she met a guy right out of high school, and they got married. And sure enough, her kids have those names that she told me about. But it didn't last long. That marriage didn't last long. I find it hard in this day and time. Now, you hear back in the 40s and 50s, oh, I met your mother on a blind date, and I knew she was the one, and we've been married now for 70 years, right? That's just almost fictional now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you don't hear that anymore.
Just the maturity level.
Yep.
And I've said this many times, my 30-year-old self, looking back when I was 21, I'm not even the same person. My 45-year-old self, looking back when I'm 30, I'm not even, maturity-wise, I'm not even the same person. I don't know. What age do you get married? What age do people actually tie the knot that's a good age? I don't know. Everybody's different, but I don't think it's at 16 or 18.
No, I wasn't even able to make decisions like that. And I'm glad it's outlawed now, because parents should not be making those decisions for their kids at that age. As I look back and after years of therapy, I know that I probably subconsciously did it for survival, just to get out of my dad's house.
Now, what did he do for income to support you? Or what, both of you work? How did that go?
No, I wasn't allowed to work or drive. So I never learned to drive until I divorced him.
Were you in a religious family, or what was?
I was brought up Catholic.
Okay.
And he wasn't religious at all. He was just abusive and controlling. So he didn't let me work or drive. He did construction, and he had no high school diploma, so that's all he could do was construction. And he worked under the table, so he never paid taxes or anything. He just did side jobs and odd jobs.
Okay.
And we really did not do well financially.
Oh, that's a tough road.
Yep.
Tough road for surviving a marriage, for sure. Now, did you say you had kids with him?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
My 2 daughters.
2 daughters,
yeah.
okay.
And when I hear some of the conversations, like on this podcast, when you're talking about the men need to provide, and like your philosophy about men providing for their wives, I never had any of that with either husband.
Really?
Yeah. So that's a foreign concept to me. That's all new to me.
That just almost feels natural. I didn't even have to be taught that.
Really?
It just, for me, and maybe I was taught that and I just didn't know it. Or maybe I just saw my father providing for the family, and so I just thought growing up, that's the way it is. Now, my mom did work some side jobs to help make ends meet because we had 8 kids.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But your dad did most of the, like he brought home the money and wow.
As far as I knew, like, yeah, I absolutely did. I'm trying to think back now. It's been a minute, but I don't know. I've never known any other way.
That's really like commendable for your dad to, to have done that and to have raised such a huge family, on pretty much one income.
Yeah.
And I mean, one of the reasons I'm in the sugar dating lifestyle is to hopefully experience and meet somebody who will provide like that for me. I've never been in a situation ever in my life where I could work just because I wanted to work. Mm-hmm. It's always been because I've had to, and that's been with the second marriage and then, ever since I've been divorced. So it would be really nice for me to be able to experience just working because I want to.
Yeah, and that was the beautiful thing about my parents. Although I didn't always get along with my father, he adopted me I was on my mom's side, kind of like the Brady Bunch deal, but he brought in the income. But my mom, I'm thinking back now, like when I was in high school, my mom did work, but it was because she wanted to, and she ended up becoming a professional photographer because that was her passion. And he put her in such a situation that he allowed her to follow her passion and then grow it. And so we end up, it was a funny thing in college. I can't remember if I've talked about this, but it's been a long time. I actually took a course called entrepreneurship, and I was the only student in class.
What?
It was a brand new class. I went to a small university anyway, but it was a brand new class. I took it, and it was me and the teacher. So I just met in his office once a week for 3 hours. Let me tell you, it was brutal because he was from France and he had a really thick accent and he didn't really like Americans too much anyway. So there was that. Anyway, he had me put together a fictional business plan, and there was a book. This is like 1987 or 88, so we didn't have anything but books back then. Computers were just now coming online. But it was a book. I read it, and I followed the instructions, put together a business plan. And one of my projects that he gave me to do, and he goes, well, what business would you like to start? A fictional business. I go, well, we dabble in photography, so let's just say a photography studio. And he goes, okay, there's 3 big studios here in town, 3 major ones. Go to each one of those and get this information from them, and then compile a business plan. Well, I went to the biggest one. Actually, they did my high school photos, my high school senior photos and prom photos. And the guy was like, hey, doesn't your mom do photography? And I'm like, yeah, she dabble in it. We had a little studio behind the house because we lived on a big kind of ranch area. We had a building behind our house, and we'd made a studio back there. And he goes, well, we're retiring. Why don't you just buy my business? So we ended up buying it. And then we became the largest photography studio in Central Texas. And then through the years, my mom worked really hard and became quite accomplished. And then towards the end of her life, I think she was 70 or 71, she was actually the president of the entire state of Texas Professional Photographers Association for a year.
Wow.
So it was really cool. She highly recognized. And
this was all because she just followed her passion.
Yeah, and my dad allowed it to do
a great
that.
Story.
And my mother was very entrepreneurial anyway. And the kids were grown at this point. Like we were in high school and then starting to get into college. So now she had time. Wasn't having to run us to Little League and, all those extracurricular stuff. We could actually drive ourselves, to football practice or whatever it was we're doing, golf tournaments. So it was kind of cool. So that's the environment I grew up in. But I wasn't taught that. I guess I just witnessed that.
So they set a really good example for you.
Yeah.
That's
and
great.
I appreciate that. At the time, you don't realize it. At the time, it's just that's the way it is. And then when you get out in the real world and you see all these people struggling and all these different philosophies on life, you're like, wow, I was fortunate because I wasn't taught any other way. And, this was just in a small Central Texas town, so... And that's kind of the philosophy that most people in that area lived by.
And see, before I got involved in the sugar community, in the traditional dating world, that's not very prevalent, that philosophy. Mm-hmm. Men do not think that way about taking care of women. And as a matter of fact, they call women gold diggers and all kinds of things if the woman doesn't provide for herself and have her own form of employment all the time.
You're listening to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy.
Are you ready to finally make that dream a reality? Maybe it's updating your kitchen, paying down high-interest credit cards, or covering tuition. Your home is more than where you live. It's also your most powerful asset. At Unlock, we make it simple to turn equity into options. With a home equity agreement, you can access cash today without taking on monthly payments. Imagine the freedom to invest in your home, reduce financial stress, or finally start that big project you've been putting off. It's your home. It's your future. Unlock it today. Visit unlock.com to learn more about a home equity agreement. That's unlock.com to learn more.
Terms and conditions apply. Not all homeowners will qualify. Not available in all states. Actor Portrayal. Home equity agreements are offered by Unlock Home Equity Solutions, Inc. In certain states, NMLS number 2657081. Visit www.consumeraccess.org for more info.
Now back to the show with your host, Marcus.
If you follow us on Instagram, there's lots of funny memes about women being gold diggers. Men, have some gold to dig. Right? If you don't have any gold to dig, we got a problem. Right? So Taylor, have you been in a situation, or what are you kind of looking for now, I guess? I know you've just met this guy, but you're on Seeking. What would be your ideal situation?
Now I have no idea.
Yeah. You're like, I'm really confused now because I kind of like this guy. And
I know, because before I was
go.
just, I'm not ready. But I found somebody. I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe there might be something. But I don't know. I'm not too sure. With obviously the right person, I'd be ready for something.
Now, we had a girl on the show I think it was last year, a couple years ago. We called her Muscles. I can't remember. Because she was a bodybuilder. Okay. You're looking at me like, why are you calling her that? No, she had muscles, trust me. And she was really cool. I met her on Seeking, and we got along fabulously, but she was never going to be my person, but we just stayed friends, right? Well, she ended up meeting an Australian guy on Seeking. And the first words out of his mouth when she walked up was, I'm fucked. They are now married.
Really?
Yeah. He knew it. He knew the second he saw her that he was in trouble because he fell for her really quick. And they dated for a while. They didn't just get married quickly. They dated for over a year. I would really, really like to get her on the show and to talk about that, but it was a long distance thing. He lived in Australia. She lived here. He had kids. It was a little bit complicated, but he would fly her from the U.S. to Australia. She'd spend some time. She met the family. He would come up here, and pretty soon he told his family down there that he was going to move to the U.S. and marry her, and he did.
Very cool story.
Yeah,
so Taylor, there's,
they are married.
Possibility there.
Oh my gosh, don't get me. I'm not doing that.
But it took, it wasn't easy. It took a lot of work on both their ends because it was a long distance thing. So I'm not saying long distance can't work. It's just they're difficult. I had a girl in Austin who I met. All we did was had lunch. She was fit. She actually was a personal trainer, great personality. If I lived in Austin and I didn't have Alejandra, I would want to date her for sure, right? But anyway, I came back here and I've shared this with Taylor, and then all of a sudden, like, she's like, "Hey, how are you? I'm a little short on my bills. Can you start sending me some money?" And I'm like this is not going to work, right? Because it was just one sided, like. What am I?
Right.
Like, how is this benefiting me at any means? I'm just sending you money. And she's like, oh, but what can I do? I really want to make this work. Well, it's not. Unfortunately, it's not going to work. I mean, I've got Alejandra, and there's just nothing's going to separate us. I'm just dating for fun, right? I don't want to get into a relationship or get into anything serious. And having multiple sugar babies is kind of tough financially for me because I'm still a working bloke.
And I think it's great that you're clear on your goals, because I think some of the men I'm meeting on the site are initially saying they want to be in an arrangement, but then after the first or second date, I can tell they're not ready for that. They don't want it. They're not even in town enough. They're traveling too much.
Sounds good initially, but then when they start thinking it through, they're like, I don't know if this is going to work.
Yeah. So they're kind of flaky. wondering if I need to take a break from it for a little bit.
Taylor just got out of a relationship that was long distance in New York City. That was kind of tough, huh?
It was, but he was pretty much flying out almost every weekend to come see me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if he
But
was
he
doing
also,
that.
he didn't have any kids.
Now, did he have any business here, or
None.
you were his business?
I was the business.
You were the business. Yeah. All right. What else, Nikki? What else going on? I know you're frustrated with men right now, but you'll find somebody that's a bit of a planner too.
Yeah.
Have you tried reaching out to anybody?
Yeah, I do on the site. Probably not as much as I should. It's time consuming.
Right. But then also, I want to say, like, definitely, I wouldn't obviously just reach out to just anybody. Look,
Yeah.
but kind of trust and fill out your attraction and
I'm realizing too, so there's a lot of men without photos in their profile.
It's very common.
And in the traditional dating world, that usually means they're scammers. But I'm realizing in the sugar world, there's other reasons why they don't have photos.
Actually, Alejandra doesn't mind that at all and almost prefers it. Interesting that she tells me that, but yeah, she has no problem with guys without photos.
And I don't either. It just makes it harder because when you're scanning through, if they have photos, like it's easy to know if they're good looking,
Yeah.
and then you click on their profile. But if they don't have photos, you're kind of taking a chance.
Mm-hmm.
But I have not been catfished or anything.
Yeah.
From people that don't have photos. They usually release them after we start talking.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to just do more of that, make time to do more.
All right, let me ask you girls here towards the end, because I've been on Facebook dating. You guys ever do that?
no.
Do you know what it is?
Yes.
Okay. Nikki?
Yeah, I've been on it.
Yeah. So I'll go on there occasionally out of boredom and I'll swipe right. And I get a pretty much the same response and success as I do with Bumble or any of those others. Very, very little. I've met one girl on Facebook dating over all these years and all these swipes. I've met one girl and I thought, oh, maybe I can get away without any compensation. That would be nice, right? No, she was on Seeking and she saw me there. So she's like, you gonna help me out, baby? Like, and I'm like, oh God. Yeah, she's found me on Seeking and I saw her on there too. And we actually went out on a few dates. It didn't work out, but interestingly enough, Facebook is trying to ramp up their dating end of their website, and they have an AI now, a dating assistant.
What?
So I get a message today, and it wasn't the first time, but I get a message today, and it says, "Hey, this is so and so, your Facebook dating assistant. May I suggest a profile for you?" And I went,
Oh, you're kidding.
Sure. And it sent me a profile, and the girl was like very attractive. And I was, and she was local, like nearby. And so I go, okay. And I swiped right. And the dating assistant said, "Oh, I see that you like that one. Would you like me to suggest another one?" And I was like, sure. I can.
Wow.
And I can't even believe, like, AI now is helping you with the swipes, like, apparently,
That
or at
is
least on
interesting.
Facebook. So I'm wondering, I'm just really curious on how AI is going to start being introduced into these dating apps.
Well, Seeking needs to make changes to theirs. Their platform is wonky.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, some of the girls in the chat were talking this week about their messages aren't showing up, and periodically it just has technical issues. And
Yeah, I was
can never
having bad technical issues the other day. It was just spinning,
Yeah.
wouldn't load up.
I can never get the video chat to work.
Yeah. We experimented with that probably a year or two ago, and Lily and I, we couldn't really get much success on that. I haven't looked at it lately. I don't know.
So they need to make some changes. They need to upgrade it somehow.
It's
Yeah.
funny. I recently got a message on there from somebody, and it says, "I'm a verified millionaire on this site."
Oh, you showed that to me.
Like,
Oh, from Seeking?
yeah, but there's no verification.
No, there is no verification. And when we looked at tabs down at the bottom to show the verifications. There was no such thing. So I don't know why he put that, but
He probably didn't realize that.
yeah.
I'm familiar with.
Yeah, you know what you're doing.
So we're going to leave it at this. Alejandra went out on a date the other day with actually a guy that I've done business with. And it's been a while. It's been 10 or 12 years since I've done business with him, but he's in the same industry that I'm at and lives in a very nice home in a part of town here that you would know, like Paradise Valley or Scottsdale. Anyway, he's got the Ferraris, he's got the multiple houses, he's got the yacht, blah, blah, blah. She went on 3 dates with him, and he's basically compensated her very little.
Oh.
And because like the other night she came home and she was telling me a little bit about the date. I go, well, did you finally get anything? Like, did he compensate you at all on the third date? And she's like, yeah, but it wasn't very much. And so then she finally told me, and she's like, yeah, you're right. Even though these men like are very wealthy, doesn't mean that the PPM goes up. You know,
Right.
they all want it to be around what everybody else is.
Is he experienced in the lifestyle or?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit, but
Can we talk about the Uber Black?
oh, yeah. So after she sees all this stuff, and he's like kind of bragging about his houses and his vacations and his cars and all this stuff, and she, that doesn't do her any good, right?
Right.
So the second date, she's like, he's got to pick me up in an Uber Black. I'm not taking this economy Uber in the Prius. It's like, so she messaged him and says, all right, I'm ready to go in the Uber Black. Taylor's like over here like, you know what? She gets what she gets, right? It's just a ride, but yeah.
Well, it is interesting the different ranges of men, because some are a little more frugal
Yeah.
in the sugaring, and others are very like attentive to the woman. Like they invite her on a date and they make sure she's got the outfit, and they, so it's kind of interesting the extremes that you can find.
I've actually, what that just reminded me? I actually have paid for somebody's outfit before I even met them, but
Really?
I verified they were legit, and they were at, and I thought I was going to get scammed too, but she was like, hey, I want to buy you a really cute outfit for our date tonight, and it's like $270 or something here, and she sent me pictures of it, and I was like, all right, and I sent her the money, and sure enough, she showed up in that outfit.
Wow.
It was cool. I actually liked it, but it would have been just as easy for her to take my money and not show up.
Right.
But I mean, $270, like, you're going to go through all that effort to scam a guy for that much when, the relationship or the arrangement could be
I've heard
a
people
lot
doing
more.
that for even just asking for money for Ubers or gas or
I know.
something like that, and they don't show up on the date.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking to somebody the other day about the scams, and I was on a meet and greet with a lady, and we were talking about getting scammed, and she goes, have you been scammed? I go, oh, yeah. If you haven't been scammed, you haven't been doing this long enough. And I said, mostly it's just like babysitting money, gas money, stupid stuff, like $50 here, $100 here, maybe $200 or $300. It's not life changing. It just makes you feel stupid. But yeah, the most I've been scammed, and I've told the story so many times, but over like $5,000 worth of stuff. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
You've been scammed for that amount?
Yeah, and she got me in person though. Yeah, she scammed me in person. But, I got paid back. Karma paid me back really quick.
There's always karma.
Yeah. And I'm really curious on how karma paid her back. Really curious. But anyway, we got to go. Taylor, anything else?
No, that's it.
Well, I love your hat.
Oh, thank you.
It's one of my favorite hats that you have that I've seen you wear.
Thank you.
Spitters are quitters. Nikki, you got to get back to work.
Yeah, thanks for letting me vent.
Yeah. Hopefully things will improve.
Next week should be better.
Okay. Well, if you guys want to share your crazy sugar dating stories, we would love to hear those. Get a hold of us at secretsofasugardaddy.com. Follow us on Instagram. You can message me there. I got 2 girls messaging me from India right now. They want a sugar daddy. And I go, well, where are you at? And they're in India. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I said, send me a picture. And they send me a picture. And I'm like, no, I need a sexier picture. And they're like, you're going to have to pay for that.
Guys, this picture he received is so blurry.
I know it's blurry.
There's no face.
But anyway, I talk to everybody. So just message me on Instagram. We'll get your message and we'll respond there. All right. Thanks again, gals.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us. If you'd like to connect or even be on the show, we'd love to hear from you at secretsofasugardaddy.com.
Are you ready to finally make that dream a reality? Maybe it's updating your kitchen, paying down high-interest credit cards, or covering tuition. Your home is more than where you live. It's also your most powerful asset. At Unlock, we make it simple to turn equity into options. With a home equity agreement, you can access cash today without taking on monthly payments. Imagine the freedom to invest in your home, reduce financial stress, or finally start that big project you've been putting off. It's your home. It's your future. Unlock it today. Visit unlock.com to learn more about a home equity agreement. That's unlock.com to learn more.
Terms and conditions apply. Not all homeowners will qualify. Not available in all states. Actor Portrayal. Home equity agreements are offered by Unlock Home Equity Solutions, Inc. In certain states, NMLS number 2657081. Visit www.consumeraccess.org for more info.